Ohio State against Texas. Sean Adams is a columnist with OrangeBloods.com, and Sean joins us now. Longhorns haven't played a game since Thanksgiving. Is that a good thing, Sean?
Well, I don't know if it's a good thing, but everybody's kind of under the same situation. Ohio State has actually been a little bit longer because they end their season sooner. You got to stay motivated. Coaches that play in bowl games often, like Ohio State and Texas do, those coaching staffs know what to do to get these teams ready to play.
Texas defense already beaten the likes of Sam Bradford, Chase Daniels, Zach Robinson, Todd Reesing, so playing against good quarterbacks shouldn't faze them, but Terrell Pryor is still a pretty good challenge.
Oh, he's a good challenge, but Texas is probably catching him at the beginning of his growth and maturation curve. He's really got to learn it. He's got to be able to throw for a little bit more than 80 or 90 yards and run. He's got to be able to have a complete game. He's got to have a big game in order for Ohio State to have a large amount of success against Texas. The Texas defense has really got to be stacking up against the run against a kid like Beanie Wells and seeing if they can force Terrell Pryor to throw. He's throwing 62%, so he's not throwing a lot, but when he is throwing, he's getting it done.
Yeah, they would prefer he throws 15 times or less. Best defensive player on the field in this game, Sean, James Laurinaitis or Brian Orakpo?
Well, you don't want to insult anybody in this situation, but I think it's pretty easily Brian Orakpo. He's such an impact player. He's a guy that can change a game. And James Laurinaitis, he's a good player, maybe even one of the best linebackers in the country. But for my money, it'd be Brian Orakpo.
And your thoughts finally on the Big 12 Conference so far in bowl season? Pretty good. They've won 3 out of 4 games.
Yeah, they've won 3-1. And, you know, it's interesting to look because this is really the only time of year when you start talking about how the non-conference schedules are set up now. This is the only time of the year that you get these great intersectional rivalries. It's tough to look at, though, because the sliding is never the same. You look at that Oklahoma State game, and they were the 4th or 5th best team in the Big 12, but they played the number 2 team in Oregon. If they slide it 1-for-1, it might be Texas playing Oregon, and then you get a different story. But they've done well so far.
All right, Sean Adams, thank you. We'll talk to you again here in just a little bit. Sean Adams of OrangeBloods.com, who was up to speed on the Longhorn side of the Fiesta Bowl's Texas against Ohio State matchup. Ohio State's recent BCS bowl game failures, the Big Ten's woeful record in bowl season so far. Sean, how much respect do you really think the Longhorns have for Ohio State?
Oh, I think they have a lot. Mack Brown is a very grounded coach, big on, I don't want to say poor-mouthing in Lou Holtz fashion, but he respects his opponent, and you have to respect what Ohio State's done, regardless of how things might not have gone the way they wanted them to at the end of the season the last few years. They've done their job. They played solid football, and things haven't quite panned out quite the way they planned. There's a lot of respect from the Longhorns going in this game, and it should be. They're a good team, quality players, and they're going to be well coached. Texas better be ready to play, or things won't turn out the way they planned.
It sounds like, Sean, you're predicting Ohio State victory. Is that right?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I'm going to say Texas is going to win this game. Texas, I think, is a better team. They have better offensive skill position. Will Muschamp and those pieces, Sergio Kendall, Brian Orakpo, Roderick McElroy. You think about the 13 tackles he had against Oklahoma and what he was able to do when they had a big-time running back in DeMarco Murray. You got to think he's going to be one of the guys assigned to Beanie Wells. If they force Terrell Pryor to throw, and I think they're going to, then I think that's why Texas wins this game, and they could win it by 9 to 12 points.
All right, Sean Adams, thank you very much.